Oh, yeah. Welcome, welcome on to the blockchain basement. What a hell of a washout we just went through last night, and Bitcoin just about fully recovered already, but altcoins not so much. Is altcoin season canceled? Is this just continued psyop for people holding altcoins as we have investors choosing the Wall Street derivatives of Bitcoin, strategy, strife, making gains while altcoins remain in pain? Is it over for the altcoins? And how do we make money in this market? We're going to get into all this and more on the show today. Welcome everybody to the show. I'm going to go through the list here. We got Boogaloo Bum, Randall Dance, Chastity, Piss Missile Explosion, Alexander G, Juicy Does Crypto, Alan de la Graza, Crypto Stevo out there building a chicken coop. Shout out to you, Byron Hardy, my man. Welcome to the show, Crypto Glassworks, Doobie Doo, miss ya, Doobie Doo. Was thinking about you, Doobie Doo. Peter John Lirum and Cali Crypto Dude, all my homies here. Welcome to the show. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow me on X. Hopefully I got this pulled up here. At Druth Crypto on X. I'm currently live, 8,000 followers here. This week you can find all, and I have some crash outs. I went into the not the Discover Discord, but the basement Discord this morning to talk with my peeps. Let you guys all know I was going in there. I just had to talk about the massive breakup that we've seen with Elon Musk and Trump. Very crazy times. And now make sure you're subscribed to the show here, the channel on YouTube's. I should start showing us more on Rumble, honestly, because our channel is kind of blowing up on Rumble. But on YouTube, we're at 78,900 subscribers. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do me the favor and subscribe to the channel here. We bring you all this stuff, all the action here. I am going to start doing more black site videos. The time frame is there. But these are the thumbnails. I did an emergency live crashing out. You can see me freaking out yesterday. Just trying to go live as much as possible for you guys here. So now let's take a look at the markets. Bitcoin resurging hard. It did not hit my ultimate level. I was trying to get this thing at about 99.8 to 99.4. It did not fall as far as that point. We held essentially on L Bank. I know we fell down to, let's see where we fell down to on L Bank. I believe it was $100,300. Yeah, $100,316 on L Bank. I did not get that entry point. As you can see, I had my freaking entry point drawn here. Is about I was trying to front run at 99.9. Did not get it, but it's all right. I did not lose a dime yesterday trading, even in a long, and protecting myself from this washout. Thank God. But we did call out the pullback, which I felt good about. And now, we're on the resurgence back on up. Heading into the weekend, it can get dicey trading on the weekends, but I'm kind of feeling enticed. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I'm kind of feeling enticed to trade. And the local level that I'm watching for this weekend, we will take a look at this. I believe I have it marked here on L Bank as well. So, as we're experiencing this uptrend, this resurgence, I just got this feel about 103.8 again. This is a very, very important spot that we were bouncing up to and down to. 103. Yeah, I think it's about 103. Where is this? Let's see here. I want to pull this up because I'm trying to talk to you about this. Yeah, 103.9. That's that main volume node peak right there. So now that we've bounced hard off of this head and shoulders, I think that's played out. Generally speaking, markets are all over their fear. I'm moving this entry spot up to here just for me to watch over the weekend as we move into it. It's always dicey trading on the weekends, I know, but trading never sleeps, and I'm always looking to make more tether here on good entry points. So the markets at large looking like a mixed bag. Currently, we got ETH down by 2%, but Bitcoin's up by 1%. Solana showing some bullishness. It looks like CryptoFace might be feeling bullish on Solana. I'm going to take a look at Solana later on in the show here. BNB still above $600. BNB is very, very strong. Honestly, BNB is one of the better picks. Link barely up. This is the most painful, good projects I could have ever imagined. Chainlink sitting here at $13.60. Unbelievable. XRP flatlining here. Tron So it's a very mixed bag. Nothing in the dark red, nothing in the dark green as things sit right now. But we did have some major news break right before we went live on the show today. Is X has officially partnered with the crypto prediction platform Polymarket. This is a very, very interesting development. It'll be something I'm watching out for if we can get prediction models just automatically put on X on the side here. It's going to be interesting how they play out like this partnership, right? Are they going to be putting this into play on the actual application itself? You know, can we make bets within X? All those things come to mind. But you know, well, I'm going to keep an eye on this. It would be fun to bet on Polymarket just straight from X. It's going to get very degenerate for sure. Mr. DC does if we can put bets on life as we know it directly on X. X becoming the new market maker may be piss missile. Now on MEXC, Bitcoin went to zero. This is kind of a weird movement that happened. I am not seeing a bunch of people that tangibly got liquidated in this data aggregation problem, but it was very, very interesting. I don't think that this caused tangible liquidations. There's another Mexi wick on Fartcoin to the upside, and you know, I don't think that we should be too worried about this. This is Nick, Crypto Savvy busted a nut. Probably. I wonder what Savvy's up to. What is Savvy calling for these days? I talked to Nick yesterday. I miss that guy. He's a good guy. Jobs report coming. Are you ready? And he's like, oh, it's gonna be terrible. Jobs report. Not so terrible. Honestly. Dead wrong again. US economy added 139,000 jobs in May. Higher than expectations. And you know what? This news came out, and right as it came out, we saw this massive, massive resurgence. Are they connected? Maybe. Or maybe the market just wanted to destroy as many leverage longs as it could. And something that I wanted to note is I have seen this pattern playing out a few times here where we lose the local range just for a hot second and then spike back up in a very violent way afterwards. I do actually want to come look at this. I mean, this is almost the same type of structure. It's like we're feeling good. We got the trend line up to the upside. Then a big washout to the downside. This is not just a few weeks ago, and then absolutely take off from there. Let's look at the shelf before that. Kind of, pretty similar aspect here. You get the trend line, the washout. Just felt like I've seen this a few times in recent past. So when I'm looking at this, I'm still going to remain patient. As a trader, I'm looking for this general volume node to do my next set of longs at. I don't want to get over leveraged, which I definitely do. I take like 25x or 30x leverage trades. I win some tether. I buy Bitcoin with it. That's been my general play. I mean, the altcoins, I haven't felt like buying altcoins in quite some time. I have altcoins still, the same altcoin bag, but honestly, seeing the market almost like start to prefer the MicroStrategy projects, and talking to TJ about it this morning, it's almost, and I agree with him on this, it almost feels like the Bitcoiners of the past have become more sophisticated. It does feel that way. And, the regular wash, when you get that upside and then you see the profit taking, we saw DeFi summer kickoff, then we saw, rolling into different layer ones. It feels like those investors are kind of more so looking at these options created on Wall Street now, which is aggravating for altcoin bags. Even for me, I'm still well up on them, but it's very disenchanting. It's a very disenchanting time. So is Veteran Crypto in here twice? Give DeFi Crypto and Airdrops a follow on YouTube. I think he's in here with Life, Liberty, and Liquidity here as well. I think that's you twice, Mr. Vet. Good to see you here. But altcoins, man, they are painful. And Bitcoin dominance, it is not playing nice. Okay. So this is trying to break out again. Bitcoin dominance is trying to break out and above this previous. And this is where we, Kelly was talking about that golden pocket where we'd see that pullback. And we started to see that pullback right where Kelly was saying we would, and it held for a minute. Altcoins did good for a minute, but God, it is just absolutely ripping once again. Let's take a look at this on the weekly. I mean, this is just pain visualized for altcoin side. This is why I've been leading. This is why I like that we have the trading aspect of our show, but also, veteran with what he's doing in the DeFi side is finding ways to make money in this market no matter what. Even if the alts aren't preferred or chosen for this current time frame in the market, we're still making money. That's where the value of having a big team with a bunch of different approaches comes into play here. But yeah, damn it, Bitcoin, calm down. It is not calm. It is not choosing peace. It is choosing violence. And, we get these wicks to the downside. Everyone's like, is this it? Is this the beginning? And then it just continues on up. So just stay vigilant. This Bitcoin season, it is what it is. I can't make up some, metric right now to be like alts are compressed to the point we've never seen, which they absolutely are. But if you look at the alts compared to Bitcoin, they're all trending to zero. The only ones that aren't trending to zero are like freaking Doge and Sui. Dominance is absolutely choosing violence on the rest of the market. So let's get into the rest of the stories. We did have the economy adding these 140,000 jobs in May, which is good. And I have seen some of my friends, even in oversaturated markets, finding good jobs. So this is something to take note of. It seems that there are, some hirings going on. Maybe it's just that people don't want the jobs that are available. Let's go look at the S&P 500 as well, because that thing is trying to break out into all-time highs. So we are going there. My wife also brought some picks to my attention on the Wall Street side, and I will talk about these here real quick. Love you, dear. She's bringing up ARC Innovation ETF and also Archer Aviation. So two interesting plays. I think she's picking up Archer already. But these are two plays I'm going to start paying attention to. I got that little, it's like a micro stock with shot still. We'll see how that one plays out. But Archer Aviation and ARC Innovations ETF. Some of these ETFs, especially like the insurance ETFs, have been very enticing to me. So here's the S&P 500, and it, by golly, has resurged very, very hard from that. And it's not like we're going into we know that the system's just going to keep printing and cooking this up. We know it. That was a pretty good washout. Right there to that previous peak. So a pretty decent washout, a pretty decent reset to the market. Let's see here. Oh, these are Kathy Woods of the ARC. I'll have to look into that more. ARC, she likes ARC for some reason. I'll have to find out why. She's starting to mess with the Wall Street side a little bit more. She's starting to mess with the Wall Street side. And now, speaking of this, we have Trump Media is one of the major, Trump pieces on Wall Street. It's raising $1 billion to buy Bitcoin, it looks like. Looks like they're making a primary offering of $12 billion in common stock, preferred stock, debt securities, warrants, rights, and units. And the play here would be to get into a large chunk of Bitcoin and, different crypto projects. But honestly, I primarily think that this is going to be focused on Bitcoin. I'd be very, very surprised if it's like huge buy on Athena and everything that World Liberty Fi is like. What is World Liberty Fi doing? World Liberty Fi sent out a cease and desist order to Fight LLC. Fight is the company behind the official Trump meme coin. It seems like there's some sort of massive communication problem or something going on internally with the Trump brothers. And, what they're doing out here. I do actually want to look at the Trump meme coin after the news to see if it is resurged or where that is at. Here's USD1 at number 42. Geez, the stable coin for World Liberty Fi has surpassed in terms of market cap the official Trump meme token. This thing almost broke into the top 10 for a hot second. And you know what? I should have G'd it at $77. I should have. I wanted to hold it to 100. I got out of it at $17. This is not great though. It's at $9.90. It fell all the way down to about 950 after the news of the cease and desist order from World Liberty Fi. But a major communications problem of some sort is happening within World Liberty Fi, fight, and their little crypto, conglomerate that they're putting together. So they got to kind of button that stuff up. Now we have Japanese MicroStrategy raising $5.4 billion to buy more Bitcoin. This is MetaPlanet. And they now want to own 210,000 Bitcoin by 2027, making up 1% of the Bitcoin maximum supply. So this is definitely a bold statement if they're trying to do this up against, BlackRock in their staking process, if they're doing this up against 21 Capital and their stacking process. Like, there's a lot of Bitcoin that's going to be bought up by these Wall Street organizations. And that kind of plays into my idea that the markets are kind of, instead of choosing the alts to run with, or DeFi, they're choosing these freaking Wall Street options. Hello, Bronson. How are you doing, Duddy? Oh, after the show. I'll get you set up on there after the show. Got my boy with me. I'm about to have the daughters with me too. It's about to get crazy in here, up in here. Yeah, so I'm a dad for sure. I love what I do because I can take care of the kids during the summertime. Just saw little bro Heem. We're going to see you soon, Patton. We're going to see you soon. My man's. He is a little bro Heem. Now, Ross Ulbricht. Okay, going to go over to this story. Bam. Going to click this. So Ross Ulbricht's $31 million worth of Bitcoin donation is suspected to have come from the Silk Road successor, Alpha Bay. According to Chainalysis, they're tracking this massive bag of Bitcoin that was given over to Mr. Ross Ulbricht once he had now been released from custody over the Silk Road debacle. And it was kind of, Deezy and me were talking about this morning. It's insane on his speech. He's like, yeah, I made Silk Road so I could find a way to get mushrooms. It's like, bro, you got let out. Kind of calm down on that. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is some, dust that was left around in the background. It'll be interesting to see if they go after Ross a second time for this. But glad to see Ross out. Glad to see Ross out. I mean, that was one of the promises that Trump made, is to pardon Ross Ulbricht, and he did indeed do it. So credit where credit is due on pardoning Ross Ulbricht, because I was very, very, very insane to see. Like, we're in the situation, the country, the United States is just, we're bullish on Bitcoin and we're holding all of the Bitcoin we've seized from everyone. We're all, yay, right? So insane of a time frame. Now, this is Matthew Hyland talking about this current Bitcoin price action. Bounce from here's uptrend remains intact. He's talking about that $100,000 psychological level. Clear, close, and confirm above the 10-day moving average at 105K, and likely have our new higher low, and should see a push to new all-time highs next. So he's looking at this daily to close above $105,000 to see that confirmation and to see the next move upwards from the markets. So it is what it is. We have to watch this. I am going to be careful as I head into the weekend with trading, but I definitely have a nice bag of dry powder in Tether to make some more Tether and to buy more Bitcoin with. I've been absolutely fucking crushing it since 75K. And I'm not sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. I've been, very, very, there's days where we come out here and everyone's asking me to find the trade. And you know what? I made a long and I could have closed it for 20%, but instead I put the stop loss above the entry point to cover the fees. And I didn't make a damn dollar off of yesterday, but I was cautious and I knew that there was bearish headwinds like Kelly was talking about with that head and shoulders. So I just protected myself. But in a bull market, I statistically win more often than not longing. Now, when we do see the Pi cycle top indicator cross, then I will be more often than not shorting with stop losses in the same regards. This is another post about a potential Bitcoin breakout incoming. Titan of Crypto talking about the progressive inside 4-hour falling wedge here, a bullish reversal pattern. He's talking about this downward trend being tested and an attempt to break it out. If confirmed, the breakout could target the 107 to 109.5 realm for Fibonacci confluence and really just go retest those previous all-time highs. And honestly, with the rate that we researched just over this morning, watching this shows you how fast things can move. how fast things can change. So, I'm hopeful that I can get a fallback down to this volume node here at about 103.9 just in the short term, and then be able to catch that long for the retest of this previous high. That's the hope here. That's the overall game plan. Now, people have been bringing up this Golden Dome defense plan. Will it work? Is it worth it? There's Pete Hegseth, Trump smiling about this replica of, not really a replica, but a similar type of product as the Iron Dome that Israel has employed. Let's read into this a little bit. I want your guys' opinion about this. Let's see here. Everyone agrees that President Trump proposed the massive missile defense system, nicknamed the Golden Dome, will carry huge cost. The question for policymakers is whether the system serves as a necessary safeguard for America or a destabilizing force in the world's complex global nuclear arms balance. It's a question that hinges on whether any current defense strategy can effectively counter fast emerging class of modern weaponry. Republicans and Democrats support updating America's missile defenses, but low-tech surprise attacks like the one in Ukraine launched on Russia this week, which actually it's been found it wasn't as detrimental as we thought initially. Ukraine's attack on Russia looks like they were attacking a bunch of downed planes, but that's still to be 100% confirmed. And this is information warfare, so we're being careful about that subject matter. But they used inexpensive drones hidden in like these modern wooden huts in vehicles that have absolutely complicated the debate. So, what is it? What's a Golden Dome? There remains some basic uncertainty about about what precisely a Golden Dome is, even among specialists who describe it as a sprawling system of systems involving everything from space-based interceptors to dirigibles closer to Earth, whatever the hell that is, a combination of multi-layered space and land-based weapons designed to provide protective shield. The name nod to Israel and the Iron Dome. I'm not horribly against upping our missile defense system here in the United States. I'm not horribly against it. What I am against is the rollout of Palantir and the surveillance state on American citizenry. That is what I'm against. So, and it looks like, this is the same thing as the Patriot Act where it's for your good, To roll out the Patriot Act, this is for patriotism. And then you end up being surveilled by your own government, even though you've done nothing wrong for the next few decades. And everyone's like, oh, that's fine. That's normal. This is funny. Today, where's Kelly's comment here? I want to show this. Today, Drew looks like Malcolm in the Middle, grew up and works for Bitcoin IRA. You know what? Reasonable. And you know what? If you are interested in a Bitcoin IRA, it is one of the best places to take advantage of the tax advantages of a IRA in and of itself, but also a Roth IRA. So if you're looking at holding Bitcoin for the long term, if you're a diamond hands person that's going to be involved in Bitcoin for a decade, 2 decades, or even just 5 years, if you're a long-term holder, make sure to take advantage of our link. And you know what? Give these guys a call. Bitcoin IRA, 877-936-7175. Again, 877-936-7175. Let them know that Blockchain Basement sent you. Because we are proud partners of Bitcoin IRA and Chris over there. And this is a fantastic shirt. And no, this is not a medium. This is an extra large. This is an extra large. That's right. I'm just a very large person. Just a very large person. But Toshi, you can kiss my ass. Now we're moving on. If IRAs are a scam, there is no helping you, Toshi. There is no helping you. Now, I also want you guys' opinion about this. Is the fight with Elon Musk and Donald Trump the beginning of the villain arc for Elon Musk? The dark MAGA play? In general, like my thoughts on this are that Elon Musk spent about what has it been, like a year? He found all this fraud, all this waste in the government, and then presents it to Congress. They refuse to vote on it. And then they just decide to vote on a big, beautiful bill, which will just expand the freaking deficit, right? So there is no fix. If I'm Elon Musk, I'm feeling like it was a giant waste of time and that I was played. I was used for my capital to help kind of drive the voting for Donald Trump, but then also used on my data aggregation to find the data of fraud, and then they don't do anything. Like, right? It's an aggravating thing for me to think about. It's an aggravating thing to think about. It's like Jay just found nicotine pouches. I'm going to shill these too. Nicotine pouches, fantastic. Straight to the veins, man. Absorbed through the gum line. Don't have to smoke. You know what? They try to tell you can't have nicotine on airplanes. Try to stop a nicotine patch. What are you going to do? Go through their mouth? Can't do anything. And now this whole fallout of Trump makes me think back to Barron in this moment where he seems very unenthused by Elon, right? And this, I think, this is an inauguration. Barron just seemed a little bit, and this is the day his dad was inaugurated. He got everyone so happy, and so they're not very enthused. And this is kind of the darker thought of this, is maybe this is actually a fallout between Elon, and then he ends up going down his villain arc, and we end up with Optimus robots that have different intentions than just simply serving the American people, right? That's kind of the massive problem that could come out of this. And I appreciate you guys for helping me not crash out this morning and last night, because I had Billy, he was here. If there's an issue on I was crashing out on, I want Trump to be like, no, I didn't go do horrible things to children on the Epstein Island. I want to hear that from Trump. All this other stuff that Trump's saying is kind of turned into noise for me. But Billy brought up a good point. If there was any smoking gun on Trump having done that, they would have definitely have presented it by now. So that makes me think about it. You know what I mean? That makes me think and kind of keep a balanced, nuanced approach to this. I don't want to fly off the handle, but I got to hold, if Trump is involved with that, you got to hold him accountable. But that is a very, very good point that the Democrats would have loved to throw Trump under the bus. They did their best, highlighting how he and RFK had ridden on the airplane. But I haven't seen verification that he was actually on the island, and I am interested. If there is verification on the island, I want to see it. I want to know. I don't want to just sit here living in bliss, ignorance. So now we have this Elon Musk talking about the federal budget back in 2024. I do want to have a listen to this. Elon is just highlighting this comment that he made in 2024, saying that he is very consistent, just stating facts. I do want to listen to this.
The federal budget deficit is insane. It's like $3 trillion. Federal expenditures are $7 trillion. Federal revenue is $4 trillion. That's a $3 trillion difference in. If this was a company, it'd be a $3 trillion loss. So I don't know if we should be adding to that loss. That seems pretty crazy. Something's got to give. You can't just spend $3 trillion more than you own every year and expect. Don't expect something bad to happen. I think this is not good. The deficit is more than $3 trillion when you look at the future obligations. So it's $7 trillion of current expenditures, but it's much more than that if you look at future obligations for Social Security, Medicare, and so forth. So we're running this incredible deficit. Something's got to give. I don't know. This can't keep going.
I mean, as long as the Federal Reserve's alive and kicking, it can get going. It does get maddening that the debt worldwide keeps growing. But it's just like this constant movement that we expect in our reasonable minds. Like, there's got to be some form of financial discipline that'll come to the United States. And for God's sakes, they can't just keep going with this Ponzi scheme, but they just keep it going. Aliens, they're probably looking down on us laughing in this whole situation. Like, that's or demons, as I like to call them. This is probably how we're looked at in terms of humans here on Earth. It's a never ending scam. And let's talk about it.
Want to know what I found out the other day?
What did you find out the other day?
Did you know the entire Earth is $315 trillion in debt. Whoa. Yeah. What? Who do they owe money to?
Bro, who are they getting money from?
It blows my mind that first off, you have everything on the planet here to live for free.
You literally have everything you need.
And then you invent a system that creates a deterioration of your own resources.
You created a store of value that's literally storing less and less value every day. Every day.
And you're increasing your technology, and yet somehow you still owe money to someone, and it's $315 trillion. There's not enough paper to print that much cash. What are they doing?
Dude, Earth is like the worst meme coin. It's the worst.
It got rugged.
This is the total vibe here. The Earth's been rugged here. It is what it is. So when I see that there's no reason or monetary, and you know what, where the economy is right now in terms of, you know, like inflation and cost of goods moving up, in a logical setting, they would raise rates. The illogical setting of our reality is that they cannot refinance the $7 to $10 trillion of debt that's coming due within the next year or two at the current interest rate, right? So they're having to lower that interest rate artificially to refinance into to keep the Ponzi scheme going. This is basically what's going on right now. And you know what? Oh my God. Are we talking about XRP in the chat? XRP to million? Who did this? Oh no. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yeah. You know. XRP is going to replace the global currency system. A private company is going to take over the Federal Reserve. Get out of the way, Jerome Powell. Brad Garlinghouse is here. Right? Is that the play? Is that the play? Is that what we're talking about here? All right. Speaking of Jerome Powell. Trump says that the Federal Reserve is a disaster and calls for a 100 basis point interest rate cut. Now, the rhetoric of this 100 basis point interest rate cut is stemming, in my opinion, from the fact that the government has to refinance that debt in the short term. The interest rates being cut, I know we've covered them, you know, pretty consistently, but I do want to go look at the CME Fed tool to see where prediction markets are at right now with this. I'm still undecided on syrup, man. I'm still undecided. So we have the FOMC 12 days from now. Let's see. Get out of my. This month, the month of June. What the hell is it? Where are we currently at? Current rate is at 425 to 450. So I think it's going to stay the same. God, some people are thinking of a rate hike. Okay, more people think a hike is going to come than a pullback. God, this market is so ridiculous. And then 425, where we are compared to the 425, there is slight interest in a Fed rate cut for the following month in July. Last time we looked at this, the more heavy-sided interest of a rate cut was actually in September, it looks like. Yeah, so to September, they're looking for that rate cut. But it is not heavily weighted. It is not heavily weighted. That can absolutely flip. In October, they're looking at things staying the same from that movement. And then December, then they're looking for another. So it looks like the prediction or the Fed CME tool is looking at 2 Fed cuts this year. But this can change quick. This can absolutely change quick. This is just where things sit right now. Keep that in mind. Now, let's look at some of the best gainers in terms of revenue compared to your people. OnlyFans is the most revenue efficient company in the world. Per Variety, OnlyFans, possibly the most revenue efficient company on the planet. No one even comes close. Look how it's outpacing NVIDIA. When you come to revenue per employee, OnlyFans are making $37 million per employee that they have. Absolutely ridiculous. NVIDIA coming behind him at 3.6 million per employee, then Cursor, then Apple, Meta, Alphabet, OpenAI, Microsoft, Tesla, and Amazon. Absolutely insane. This is just the reality of You know what? We're looked on. I don't want to get too bearish here, but where society has gone, maybe this is just me needing to acknowledge that like sex workers were the original economy on the planet Earth. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. It's me. Now let's look at the altcoin sector here. So we'll check this out. Luke Youngblood from Moonwell. We had him on the show to explain what Moonwell is. It's building alongside Peter from the Circle team, still from day one, by extension, Mamo Agent. This is the AI agent that they're also building within the ecosystem. Proud to be part of the Circle Alliance since 2024 and build some incredible products on USDC and the European version of this stablecoin. So kind of a sneaky thing that's going on for Moonwell. Moonwell has a lot of really sneaky aspects to this. It's not like they're trying to be like the traditional altcoin, which is like, bet on me because things are looking good for alts. Moonwell is the only way that you can get a routing number and a banking number through a crypto protocol, which is pretty interesting to me. I mean, that they get the allowance to do that to begin with. So, you know, I'm holding the Moonwell. It's not like going nuts. I'm not down on it, thank God. But thinking about that, it's kind of interesting what they're doing there. Shout out to you, Luke Moonblood, or Luke Youngblood. That's his name. Moonblood. All right, so now let's head on to this. Alex Becker going for Altseason, calling for Altseason. People in the chat saying SWI and Solana. A lot of people liking SWI. We may as well head on over to SWI and Solana to see what the charts are actually looking. We may as well. Okay. SWI has been interesting to me. I remember looking at it a bit ago. $2 was interesting to me. I don't really want the market cap. Let's see. SWI to USD. SWI to USD. Go here. So we fell down to like 294, like barely within the $2 realm. I'm trying to be greedy and snatch this thing in this flat out 2 to 250 spot. If I get it, great. I may as well draw the box here so it reminds me to buy it if we do fall to this level. So where did I find stuff? Let's just do a damn game box. I don't care. Let's do this. So we'll go down to $2. There. I was gonna leave this thing here. I don't even care about what a gamma box is or does. I'm just looking at this from a Hill Village perspective. I want it to hit this original pump 2 moment, and then I can fill my bags. Now Solana, let's take a look at this. I know that it's Crypto Face. Crypto Face is actually looking at some action on Solana. I do want to find that post of his. Let's see where that is. I think this is him looking at Solana. He put this up and he didn't put the actual ticker name, but it was at $147, which is right about where Solana's sitting. This might be honestly on the traditional stock side. I just want to go see Solana in general here because we have had a nice pullback. We're back into these previous range that we were in 2024. Let's see. Prolapse coin. What are you? Oh my God. So Solana on the weekly is printed a red dot and a very, very weak momentum wave to the upside, like extremely weak. Let's see if we can look at any other data that was like this, similar to. Okay. So it's printing these. The sentiment was at extreme lows when we're at like that $9 to $20 range. And we had 3 moments where we printed these red dots with very weak momentum after a green dot on the weekly, trying to push it up. Okay. But God, the money flow in general. Look at the money flow in general. Came down hard. What am I don't know about this. Like, I want to see something like this. The money flow really needs to come back for Solana. I mean, That Pico let this Trump coin peak right here. And ever since then, I mean, it has been a ride downhill. Holy God. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Whew. That does not look great. That does not look great. Where's the price at? We have money flow like leaving hard in a very, very short amount of time. How much time is that taking? Jesus. Isaac's not going to like this. 140 days. Whew. Jeez. Oh, shit. Yeah, I agree with KJ. I mean, honestly, that looks horrid. That looks horrid. That's where the migratory flow of these altcoin peeps comes to mind. I mean, it is going to take something incredible to get that cooking back to the upside. I mean, you have that print, but yeah, I mean, I do not know if I'd be buying that chart. How things look. Hopefully, Pump Fund stays on Solana. Yeah, I mean, I think Pump Fund will stay on Solana, Jay. It's just, the thing about the Pump Fund release is it increased the activity. So they have great, activity numbers from meme coin users and bots. But what happened was they made a lot of revenue. They made between Pump Fund and Bullix, they made $1 billion in revenue in Solana. And then they sold the Solana for USDC or, stable coins throughout this whole process. Right. So, God, that is insane to see. Let me know what chat. Let me know what charts you want me to look at. Okay. Because there is a real reason to be looking at what the hell is going on with these alts right now. I mean, we're staring down the barrel of Bitcoin dominance being brutal. Bitcoin keeps having bullish momentum. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart and see if we can snag that trade here. I look at the alts and it just makes me want to go back to leverage trading. All right, let's pull up the Caspa chart. Pull up the Caspa chart. Let's see what the Caspa chart looks like. Caspa. I was talking to Nick yesterday. He's like in Litecoin. I like Litecoin still. I'm going to go look at the Litecoin chart too. A lot of these alts are printed. Damn. This is not great. This is the same structure. Huge run up during 2024 or end of 23, beginning of 24. Money flow back down. Ugh. Yeah. This is insane. This is insane. Okay, I need to look at something else. I mean, I don't like that one either. I don't like that one either. We're swimming. I want to go look at Ondo. Let's go look at Ondo's money flow. That's it. They call me Gedimus Maximus, right? One's down slightly. I'm slightly less worried about this one. At least you have higher lows going on here. At least you have higher lows. The TVL comparison. Also, let's go to DeFi Llama to look at this. So, DeFi Llama. Because we know Bitcoin's here to stay. We know, but even if they don't do the strategic reserves, I know that Bitcoin's here to stay. Gedimus Maximus or Gedimus Maximus, right? That should be the name. Nick is still encrypted. Yes. Me and him are in deep hatred with the design of Altseason or the lack thereof. I mean, I'm not as aggravated because I took tons of profits in March of last year and I've been trading, but God. So I think this is Moonwell. There's lots of TVL, price low. I'm liking this design. Let's go to search for the other one. So I do want to go check out, what was it? Solana. Go look at Solana. Overall money on chain on Solana. The TVL is not bad. Still money locked into it. Still money locked into it, which is a good thing. God, that money flow thing. That money flow thing is really, really aggravating. Really, really aggravating. I want to keep floating around on these charts here. These alts are really kind of intriguing. Is alt season freaking over? I think at the very minimum, the results of what we're getting from going through all these charts is that alt season is very selective. Alt season is very selective. Let's see. So I want to let's go back to CoinMarketCap. Bam. All right. Let's go check out Avalanche. Let's check out Avalanche. Let's gut Avalanche real quick. We're gutting all these coins. To USD. The Binance chart. This is the weekly. So I hate this less. I hate this less. The reason why is because the higher lows. The higher lows make me hate it less. So there's that. Chainlink. I think I looked at Chainlink recently. Last thing I looked at Chainlink, I was looking at for like an $11. Like I rarely feel like buying Chainlink. Yeah, and this bothers me way less. I complain about Chainlink, but I shouldn't complain so much. Honestly, this isn't that bad. It's just like Steve-O sent me something that was very, very like I constantly see these bullish partnerships with Chainlink, and then the price just drives me nuts. Let's zoom in on the money flow here. And printed to the downside. It printed to the downside right here, right after a green dot. Let's look at that. Look. Not too much pain though. Not too much pain. Yeah, the overall graph of Chainlink doesn't bother me. And, sure, I might pad out my bags if we hit this level. Or maybe the top end of this channel. It goes down to about $9 up to 11. I don't hate adding a little bit, but honestly, I'm much more interested in Tether and Bitcoin. And I have enough Chainlink where my plan with Chainlink is once I see, just a very, very brief talking link to Bitcoin run, I am Getimus Maximus. I'm going to just keep saying it. I mean, this is breaking that. Look at that. Bitcoin dominance broke us below this. This is not great. Zero's right here. Just for reference, zero is right there. God, the moment I see a couple weeks of upside, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. Everyone buying stocks. It's true, man. You're looking at the stock side. Oop. So this is why, I got my Link spot bags, but I've been making way more money trading, and I know Vet's making way more money in DeFi. This is why it's good to have a team that's looking at different aspects. Tagged me on X Jetus Maximus. All right. Is there a new Jeet that I can pick upon? Oh my God. This is it. Jetus Maximus. Jetus Maximus. Absolutely. If you don't feel bad selling your damn altcoins, man, these things have not been performing. And there is no one that will be your savior for holding these altcoins into the next bear market. And there will be a next bear market for altcoins. There will be. Everyone's like, no, this market's different. It's different because we're dealing with a more sophisticated market and they see opportunity to map. Like, look at Circle yesterday. People like 3x, 4x on Circle. Wall Street's making money off of these crypto derivatives. 100%. I want to know from you guys too. Are you going to go watch the new Black Panther? Ryan Gosling is rumored to be the new Black Panther in another universe. So I am very, very interested. The backstory behind this, the creator of Black Panther, he was getting yelled at by a bunch of people because, he's African American and he made an African American Black Panther. You would expect Black Panther to be an African American, okay, or black. It makes sense. That's fine. It's great. And then he got so tired of people yelling at him for choosing someone of his own race, and now he's He's choosing Ryan Gosling. He's like, got this. Hold on, we got to go through the artwork in the comic book is ridiculous, you guys. All right, we're gonna go. This is this is like Blazing Saddles. Let's see here. This is like Blazing Saddles. This gives me total Blazing Saddles vibes. Okay, I think. This is it. Here it is. Here it is. This is the son of Black Panther. So they're thinking about Ryan Gosling as the guy who's going to play this. I could totally see this. I could totally see it. He could do it. He could pull it off well. Shout out to you, Ryan Gosling. And I know I get aggravated by everything that we see in the macro oftentimes. Another cool application of AI that I saw happen really brings us back to 1776. Okay, this is freaking cool.
This is George Washington. Welcome to my Day in the Life vlog. I've heard this is the new hip thing to do.
Yeah. Let's see what's stirring in camp today. Yo, that musket's shining like my drip, fam. You slaying or nah?
General, I'm straight fire.
This stew is bussin', chef.
Yeah.
Stew is
Fire.
This kid is flagging the hell out of George Washington and AI. Just so we're all clear. Do not do that. Do not flag.
this stew is bussin', chef.
Yeah.
You've got mad riz.
Just ask your mum, General. Troops looking strong today. Except that one.
Yo, this cannon's about to pop off, besties.
Why is George Washington talking like, Gen Z? I don't understand why the speech has to be the new age speech. You got to throw it back, man. You got to throw back the way that our founding fathers would have actually have spoken. So that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. I'll probably be creating some old school videos. I've also seen them recreating biblical moments. All those British. Yeah, I mean, America, we were, exiled or recent Brits that came out here, that's Macron. All right. So we're heading into Friday, and me, I can't stop making money. Even though altcoins are sleepy right now, I'm not going to stop making money. And this level, let's look at this actually on the volume node side. I really want this volume node. And, I could go chasing this green last few hours, but I'd probably lose if I was chasing along on these last few hours of really bullish price action. Let's see. I want to go look at the 4-hour MACD. I've really been liking the MACD on the 4-hour for just general price movement, like where we're going. Look at that. That's rounded off nice. Okay, that's rounded off nice. Started to flip those moving averages. That's actually looking really good. What a market manipulation, just murder town. If you're out here trading with me, you got to assume that they are going to try and murder you. AJAM doesn't want me to do it. Well, you know what? AJAM, why I am me and you are you, and I love you. But I might do it. I might do it over the weekend. I am looking for that. That point of control on this range kind of looks pretty juicy. We had the washout, and honestly, the breakup between Elon Musk and Trump's a pretty big deal. We got a 5% washout from it. So, watching out for this. It's a trap. So if I do get the chance to see this POC at around 103.7, 103.9, I'll let you guys know in the Discover Investments Group Discord. If you're not in there already, you guys just sign up on LBank, send us your user ID, and I can get you in there for literally for free. And also for the NFT holders, it sounds like at the very minimum, a massive, massive discount for NFT holders to get access to the entire ecosystem. But not only the free side of trading, guys, for God's sakes, get in there. But also working with TJ to get the sub 15K NFT holders a major, at minimum a major. I'm trying to get it for free. I'm trying to get it literally the whole package for free. So that's what I'm working on getting. We'll see. If TJ's just been very wrapped up with a large move. He's got a lot of stuff going on in his life, so I got to be sensitive to that. Let him get it done. But with this price action, you guys, the moral of the story is stay based. Okay, I'm acknowledging that the change of the market is here. Bitcoin has been kind of the squeeze of the season. You know, and I think we're dealing with a more sophisticated Bitcoin investor that doesn't roll over into altcoins the same way that we've seen in altcoin seasons past. I think there will be a few alts that do well, you know, reasonably well, especially if you've only moved into them on low entry points and you've remained greedy on your entry points and you don't chase green candles. The only green candles that I feel like chasing are Bitcoin on spot. Bitcoin on spot, I'm fine buying all over the damn place because I like taking control. I like the tax advantages of Bitcoin IRA. And again, the number to Bitcoin IRA is right here. Let's see here. I'll share this. It is 877-936-7175. But also, you know, the other side of that, I'm keeping a bunch of it on an Arculus cold storage device. One of these bad boys, super easy to use. Come with the, oh, my greasy taco fingers are all over this. I don't know if this taco or whatever, but I love these things. They're very easy to use and they keep your stuff secure. So with that, man, just exercise power. The system doesn't look like it's going to fix itself, you know. So if you are taking advantage of the IRA that we have, if you are taking advantage of the cold storage device, then make sure to let them know that the basement sends you. I think we got a code BASE20 going on right now for 20% off the Arculus cold storage device. And they take great care of the channel as well as you guys. Share this out. Also, if you can, share the stream because we are definitely being shadow banned. So if you can, share us out on the stream. Everywhere is shadow banning us except for Rumble. We're still cooking like a lot of views on Rumble. So Rumble's being good to us. Shout out to him. I met the CEO in Vegas. Very cool dude. So they're taking good care of us. I'm still going to, of course, keep streaming here on YouTube and X and all that stuff. But if you can, just show some love. Share the stream out. It's free. I love you guys. I hope you have a good weekend. If I do get that trade entry point, I'll let you know. And go take good care of your families. That's what this is all about, right? Stay based, and I will see you on the next one.